Welcome back, friends. We're going to keep reading from James and the Giant Peach. Last time that we read, we realized that the sharks were now attacking the peach, and they had to come up with a plan. And so our last chapter ended with a cliffhanger where James was huddling in all the insects to explain what his plan was going to be. So chapter 21. "Why, that's an absolutely brilliant idea," cried the old green grasshopper when James explained his whole plan. "That boy, well, he's a genius," the centipede announced. "Now, help me, I need to keep my boots on after all." "Oh, I shall be pecked to death," wailed the poor earthworm. "Of course you won't." "I will, I know I will, and I won't even be able to see them coming because I have no eyes." James went over and put his arm gently around the earthworm's shoulders. "I won't let them touch you," he said. "I promise I won't, but we've got to hurry. Look down there." There were no more sharks. Now there were more sharks than ever before around the whole peach. The water was boiling with them. There must have been 90 or 100 at least, and to the travelers on the very top, it certainly seemed as though the peach were now sinking lower and lower into the water. "Action stations!" James shouted. "Jump to it! There's not a moment to lose!" He was the captain now, and everyone knew it. They would do whatever he told them to do. "All hands on deck, below for the earthworm," he ordered. "Yes, yes," they all said eagerly as they scuttled to the tunnel entrance. Come on, let's hurry." "And you, centipede," James shouted. "Hop downstairs, get the silkworm to work at once. Tell her to spin like she's never spun before. Our lives depend upon it. And the same applies for you, Miss Spider. Hurry on down and please start spinning." Chapter 22. In a few minutes, everything was ready. It was very quiet now on the top of the peach. There was nobody in sight, nobody except the earthworm. One half of the earthworm's body, looking like a great, thick, juicy pink sausage, was just laying innocently in the sun for all the seagulls to see. The other half of him was dangling down in the tunnel of the peach. James was crouching close beside the earthworm in the tunnel entrance, just below the surface, waiting for the first seagull. He had a loop of silk string in his hand. The old green grasshopper and the ladybug, they were further down the tunnel, holding on to the earthworm's tail, ready to pull him down quickly out of danger as soon as James gave the word. And far below, in the great hollow stone of the peach, the glowworm was lighting up the room so that the two spinners, the silkworm and Miss Spider, could see what they were actually doing. The centipede, he was down there too, getting them to both frantically work faster. The greater the efforts ever now were needed, so James could hear the voice coming up faintly from the depths shouting, "Spin, silkworm, spin, you great fat lazy brute! Faster, faster, or we're going to be thrown to the sharks." "Here comes the first seagull," James whispered. "Keep still, earthworm, keep still. The rest of you, get ready to pull." "Please don't let it spike me, please," begged the earthworm. I won't. Shh." And out of the corner of one eye, James watched the seagull as it came swooping down towards the earthworm. And then suddenly, it was so close that he could see its small little black beady eyes and its curved beak. And the beak was ready to grab a big piece of nice flesh meat out of the earthworm's back. "Pull!" shouted James. The old green grasshopper and the ladybug gave the earthworm's tail an enormous tug, and like magic, the earthworm disappeared into the tunnel of the peach. But at the same time, up went James's hand, and the seagull flew right into the loop of the silk that James was holding out. The loop, which had been cleverly made, was then tightened just the right amount but not too much, around the neck of the seagull, and the seagull was now captured. "Hooray!" shouted the old green grasshopper, peeking out of the tunnel. "Well done, James!" Up flew the seagull, with James taking slowly out of the silk string out of his hand, like you do for a kite. He gave it about 50 yards and then tied the string over to the peach stem. Take a look at this picture. So he hooked the seagull. There's the old green grasshopper peeking out, and now he's going to tie that string over the peach. "Next one," he shouted, jumping now back into the tunnel. "Up you get again, earthworm. Bring up some more silk, centipede." "Oh, I don't like this at all," wailed the earthworm. "It only missed me by that much. I even felt the wind on my back as it was swishing past." "Shh," whispered James. "Keep still. Here comes another. Shh." And so they did it again, and again, and again, and again, and the seagulls just kept coming, and James caught them one after another and tethered them and hooked them to the peach stem. 100 seagulls, he shouted, now wiping the sweat off from his face. "Keep going," they cried. "Keep going, James." 200 seagulls, 300 seagulls, 400 seagulls. The sharks, as though sensing that they were in danger of losing their prey, they were hurling themselves now at the peach fiercely, more than ever before, and the peach was now sinking lower and lower into the water. 500 seagulls, James shouted. "Silkworm says that she's running out of silk," yelled the centipede from below. "She says she can't keep going much longer, and nor can Miss Spider." "Tell them that they've got to," James answered. "They can't stop now." "We're lifting," somebody shouted. "No, we're not. I felt it." "Put on another seagull. Hurry, quick." "Quiet, everyone, quiet. Here's one more coming. One more coming now." This would be 501 seagulls. At the moment that James caught it and tethered it to the stem with all the others, the whole enormous peach suddenly started rising slowly out of the water. "Look out! Here we go! Hold on, boys!" But then it stopped, and there it hung. It hovered and swayed, but it didn't go any higher. The bottom of it was just touching the water. It was like delicately balancing, like on a scale that only needed the tiniest little push to go the other way. "All right, one more will do it," shouted the old green grasshopper, looking out of the tunnel. "We're almost there." And now came the big moment. Quickly, the 502nd seagull was caught and harnessed to the peach stem. And then, suddenly, but slowly, majestically, like some fabulous golden balloon, with all the seagulls straining at the strings above, the giant peach rose up, dripping out of the water, and began climbing up to the heavens. And that brings us to chapter 23. And we will share that next time. And you can hear what's going to happen. But I will give you a little preview. This is a picture. It's going to start chapter 23. You see all the seagulls, the sharks at the bottom. All right. Ooh, can't wait to find out what happens next. All right, third graders and my other friends, hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.